Now, welcome to the 10th HTML tutorial of learning how to code for Pidgin English. And for inside this tutorial, we're going to look at forms. So form na big thing when it comes to how website and the internet work. E dey very important because na form dem dey use to collect information from people. So without form, website go just be like signboard wey people just dey read information from. So form dey very useful to do many things for inside website. For example, filling of application form, web chatting, agreeing to terms and condition, answering questions online, giving computer instructions, searching and things like that. Na form dey give the authority to do all of these things. So basically, na form dey give chance to type on website. So to create form for inside HTML, just like many other tags wey we don dey do since, we go need form tag. So if I type form, now for inside this form tag, we need another tag wey dem dey call label. Like all dis title wey you see here so, last name, email, password, re-enter password, brief profile, na label dem dey call dem. So I go just talk say label, and inside dis label, we go first represent dis first one wey dey here, wey be last name. So I go put last name, and I go come put break here because I go like break dis last name from dis box wey dey here. So I go put break here. And dis box, to do dis box for inside coding now, for inside HTML, na input dem dey call am. Just as the name be, input na im dey give chance to type something for inside website. Wetin dis type attribute dey do be say dis box, e dey tell us the type of information wey dey go in here. So because say here now na text information dey go here, so we go just put text here. So as we put text here so like dis, computer don know say okay, the information wey dey enter inside dis one like dis na text. Yes. So if I save dis file now, go to our website, come reload dis information, then you go see say we don get the information wey be last name and that text input. Now we'll go back to our Sublime Text. Now for inside our Sublime Text like this, we wan represent this email. So I go just come here again, put break, but now na two break I go put after the first input because the space wey dey between this last name and this box e no too many. But you go see say the space wey dey between this box, this last name box and this email, e dey plenty. So I go just put two break there to give more spaces between those two contents. So if I come here like this, I go put label again. Inside this label, I go type email. Now I don represent my email label like that. So I go just put break. Now for inside this one like this, I go just put input. The type of attribute wey go inside this input now no go be text again because no be text information we dey expect for inside this box. The type of information wey we dey expect inside this box so na email information. So email different from text, even though say e dey always dey confusing at times. Some people go ask say shebi na to just type something, but email get format, e get pattern. You go notice say email dey always get at and .com. So that at and the .com na im be the pattern, na im be the format wey set this email different from this text. So the type of information wey we dey expect inside the email box, inside this box so na email type of information. So we go just come here, put email. So if I save this information like this, come go back to our browser, reload this information now, you go see say e don carry am tell us say email. Now if I put my mouse on top this one, I don put my mouse on top this thing now for a few seconds, you see say any information no show. Now if I put my mouse on top this one like this sef, you see say any information no show. But if I come put just anyhow thing inside this one, you see say e no complain of anything. Now make I put anyhow information inside this email box, you go see say e go begin dey complain. Now you see say e talk say please include art in the email. Na im be say this box now dey expect email pattern, because say we don tell the attributes wey be email inside our code. Na why e dey complain say we no put that art symbol. So if I just come here like this again, come change this one to text, na im be say the type of information wey dey go inside this thing now no be email information, no be email format, na text. But I go just change am back to email. So we dey continue. So inside this one now I go just put two break, so that I go give enough space between this input and this password, between this email box and this password. So the next thing wey we go do now na label for password. Now I go put password. Now as I don put password label, so I need input. So I go just break this one sef, come put input. You go notice say every time wey we need another box, na input we dey use. Yes, e dey very simple, na like that dem dey do am, because say na input dey allow us to type something. Anytime wey we wan type anything, na input we go use, this input tag. And this input tag wey you see so na self-closing tag. E no get the second one wey dey always get that forward slash for behind. So e no get that one. So because say this one na password, the type of information wey we dey expect inside this box na password information. So I go just put password in here. So if I save this information now, go reload am for our browser, you see say we don get our password box sef for here. Now how you go take know say na password go dey here? Na when you come begin dey type something inside. I come dey type something inside now, you see say e no show, e don encrypt am. So na this attribute wey we give am here, na why e come change am to password be that. You dey feel me? Exactly. So if I come here again, I go just break this one again, break am again. Then I wan represent this brief profile. So the thing wey I gats do first na to put the label. So I go put label, and I go put brief profile. As I don put brief profile so, I go just break am here, so that space go dey between the brief profile and the box. Now you see say this box now e dey bigger pass this other boxes wey dey here. And because say the text wey go dey inside this one, e go plenty pass the text wey dey inside this one. So we no go use input again for inside this one, we go use something wey dem dey call text area. So I go just do text area here. Okay na. So I go just save my information here, come back here like this, reload our website, and you go see say we don get bigger box. Now I don forget say we never do our re-enter password. So wetin we go do be say I go just copy this information, this password information wey dey here so. I go just do Ctrl+C. I go just come here, I go paste am. Now I go just change this one to re-enter password. Re-enter password. So I go just save this information, go back to our browser, and reload am. You see say we don get everything complete like this except the submit button. So to do this submit button, we need another input. So I go just break this one here, break am again. So we need another input now to do this submit button. So I go just do input. You know say I tell you say na input we dey use if you wan type something for inside website. Now but wetin dey always check this thing go na this type of input, this type. And if you also look at the idea of a submit button, submit also dey input something. If you click am, na im go come gather all the information wey we don put inside those boxes. You go come submit am to somewhere. Now, how we go take achieve dis thing now na inside dis type na im we go take achieve am. We go just come here, come type submit. As we don type submit inside dis one like dis, computer don already know say the type of dis input wey dey here like dis no be input wey go allow person to type something for our website, but na input wey go allow person to submit. E just be like button. I go save dis information like dis, go back to our website and reload our website. Now you don see say we don get dis submit button. So e still come get one last thing wey I go like discuss, and na im be dis name attribute. So I just want you to ignore dis name attribute now because e dey more advanced pass dis HTML level. Now when we come begin dey start to dey do real programming now, na we go come dey use dis name attribute to bind information wey we go come send, such that when we click dis submit button, computer go know say okay, dis one na im get dis particular information wey we dey try send to the server. So I just want you to ignore dis name attribute for now. Now I go like show you something wey dem dey call placeholder. You go don see for inside many forms wey be say you go get some kind small small text, some kind information wey go dey inside dis boxes, and when you come begin dey type, those information go come disappear. Na placeholder dem dey call am. So if I come here now come put dis attribute placeholder inside dis text, inside dis input, come put the attribute placeholder. If I do placeholder now, I come say enter your last name. If I save dis information now, go back to our website, come reload our website. Now you see say I don get dis small information, enter your last name, inside dis our last name input box. So if I click here now come begin dey type, you see say e don comot. If nothing dey inside the box, e go carry am come. So wetin placeholder dey do be say e dey add extra information inside our form so that users no go make mistake when dey wan type. So wetin I go do now be say I go put placeholder inside all of the input boxes. So dis one go be email, dis one go be password, dis one go be the enter password, or make I call am password again. Dis one go be tell us more about yourself. So I go save dis information and go back to our website and come reload our website. Shey you see, inside our last name we get enter your last name, for email we get email, for password we get password, for the enter password we get password again, for profile, for brief profile we get tell us more about yourself. So dis information as e dey like dis, because say na HTML we dey do, I no wan add any style to our HTML. Another thing wey I go like discuss for inside dis form na dis special attributes wey be 4 attributes and ID attributes. So if I put dis 4 attributes here, 4 attributes, I go just call am any name. Make I just call am last name. Now dis 4 attributes, I go come inside dis input again, because say dis last name and the input of that last name, I wan bind them together so that the two go dey communicate with each other. So dis 4 wey be last name here, I go come here come do ID, and I go give am exactly the same name, last name. Now if I go into my browser now, open our website, come reload our website. Now I wan make you pay at ten tion to dis my mouse. If I click on dis last name, I no dey click inside dis box o. If I click on dis last name label, you go see say e go trigger the mouse to go inside dis box. Now see am, You see say the mouse don dey blink inside that box. So wetin that one mean be say I don use that for and id attribute to bind this last name label and this input box together. Because I never put am inside this email, if I click on this email label now, nothing go happen inside this box. So just see am. You see say nothing happen inside the box because I never bind these two together. So as e be say we don talk about form for inside this tutorial now, na so e go be for inside this tutorial. I go see you for the next one wey we go continue to dey talk about forms.